Any harmonious special of these harmonies?
Madhava Kunja Vikhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vikhari Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Yadunandana Raja Janaranjana Yadunandana Raja Janaranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vikhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vikhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Yadunandana Raja Janaranjana Yadunandana Raja Janaranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jayom Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrayakacharya Stottarasat Shri Srimat Kesivangre Saisi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Samstapakacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantha Raj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Shri Shri Gaura Nitai Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopinata Lalita Devi Vishakha Devi Ki Jai Shri 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 Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim sarasvatim vyasam tato chayam mudirayet mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramanandam Madhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishvaram Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, thank you very much for coming for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class and for giving me the opportunity to say some words in glorification of the Lord and His devotees. I see it's written text. I'm looking to Bhagavati Mataji because it's written text 27, 28.
I know it's
24.
wrong.
Yeah, but
I know it's supposed to be as I told you.
yes.
I don't know why it edited up. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong. But normally.
No, I mean, it's okay. I guess they thought whatever they thought, but
It was report. You had a report for 24 and 25, didn't you?
I prepared for discussion of 24, 25. So I'll read this, and then if we are done, we will move to 26, 27, 28. Otherwise, tomorrow we will do this, so it's fine.
So the wrong verse is on the board, unfortunately. Then.
It's okay, I guess it's fine. Maybe some of you have the devices and can sing. No? Spain in New Brajamandala is not so organized as Radhadesh. In Radhadesh, everything is paka, it's like everything is in place. New Brajamandala is more wild type of, and sometimes they don't write the verse, but then we tell, okay, you get your devices, and usually they write, but sometimes something happens. Okay, so let's text 24. So we are reading Canto 10, chapter 85. Lord Krishna instructs Vasudev. We start with text number 24 and we will read also text 25. So I'll read myself text 24, and then if you are able to follow, we can sing text 25 if you have devices. Otherwise, I'll read it and we will discuss. Atma ekas vayam jyotir nityonyo nirguno gunai atma shrishtai tat Shrishtais tatkriteshu bhuteshu bahudeyate. Translation: the Supreme Spirit, Paramatma, is indeed one. He is self-luminous and eternal, transcendental and devoid of material qualities. But through the agency of the very modes he has created, the one supreme truth manifests as many among the expansions of those modes. Text 25. Kamvayur Jyotirapopus Tatkriteshu Yathashayam Avistirol Papurieko Nanadvam Yatyasavapi Kamvayur Jyotirapopus Tatkriteshu Yathashayam Avistirol Papurieko Nanadvam Yatyasavapi Kamvayur Jyotirapopus Tatkriteshu Yathashayam Avistirol Papurieko Nanadvam Yatyasavapi. If you like to sing, those of you who can do it. Kamvayur Jyotirapopus Tatkriteshu Yathashayam Avistirol Papurieko Nanadvam Yatyasavapi. Ladies, Kamvayur Jyotirapopus Tatkriteshu Yathashayam Avistirol Papurieko Nanadvam Yatyasavapi. Kamvayur Jyotirapopus Tatkriteshu Yathashayam Avistirol Papurieko Nanadvam Yatyasavapi. Kamvayur Jyotirapopus Tatkriteshu Yathashayam Avistirol Papurieko Nanadvam Yatyasavapi. Kam, ether, Vayu, air, Jyoti, fire, Apa, water, Bhu, earth, Tat, there, Kriteshu, in the products, Yata Shayam, according to the particular locations, Avi, manifest, Tira, and manifest, Alpa, small, Buri, large, Eka, one, Nanatvam, the status of being many. Yati, assumes. Asau, it. Api, also. Translation. The elements of ether, air, fire, water, and earth become visible, invisible, minute, or extensive as they manifest in various objects. Similarly, the Paramatma, though one, appears to become many. Purport. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti explains this and the previous verse as follows. The one Paramatma appears to be many by the influence of the modes of nature that he himself creates. How is that? Because although in truth the Paramatma is self-illuminating, eternal, aloof from everything, and free of the modes of nature, when he appears as his manifestations, he seems to be just the opposite, a multiplicity of temporary objects, saturated with the modes of nature, just as the elements of ether and so on, when manifesting in pots and other things, seem to appear and disappear. So the Paramatma seems to appear and disappear in his various manifestations. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Satsvarupta Swami Niti Namini. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Adeshatarini. Pandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakambitamscha. So, this is a very profound theme that the Lord is speaking to his father Vasudeva after his father has been addressing prayers to him, in one way forgetting that he is the father, seeing Krishna as God. So in one way Krishna is not so pleased that he is addressing him as God. But he is reciprocating, he is speaking in philosophical terms, theological terms as well about the truth. And in these two verses there is a discussion about monism. And monism is actually, we do not agree with impersonalism, but we have no problem with monistic personalism. The Srimad Bhagavatam establishes tattva as monistic. Vadanti tat tattva vidas Tattvam Jnanam Advayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shaptyate. That the learned transcendentalists know the absolute truth as Brahman, impersonal Brahman, the greatest, Paramatma, the Supreme Soul, localized in everywhere and in everything, and also everything being localized in Him. The Paramatma is not only small, but also Anantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam. He is the biggest and the biggest. So the Paramatma becomes manifest as the individual super soul within the heart of every living entity, Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. But then the super soul of the universe is Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. He has thousands of heads, thousands of arms, thousands of mouths. So he appears to be many, but he is one. And also he is Mahavishnu. Generally Mahavishnu is not described as the super soul, but there is no difference between Mahavishnu and the other Vishnus. It's the same Vishnu Tattva. He is not two. As Srila Prabhupada will say, God cannot be two. God by definition is one. So the Srimad Bhagavatam first establishes the unity of Tattva, Advaya Jnana. Learned transcendentalists know that the Lord is beyond duality. And therefore Krishna in Bhagavad Gita instructs Arjuna to become transcendental to the modes of material nature. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nishtraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirduanduo, go beyond duality. Nirduanduo Moha Sattvasto Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. The Vedas deal with the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Become transcendental to the modes of material nature. Don't remain there. That doesn't mean we ignore them. They are there. We are influenced by them. But focus on pure devotional service. Ultimately, that's the implicit meaning. Become transcendental to all duality and become situated in the Atma, in the Self. And here it is described in these verses, 24 and 25. Krishna is using the term Atma, and the Acharyas have explained that this refers to the Paramatma. I'll read the commentaries of Srila Jiva Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. They are very similar. And also Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur to these two verses. Srila Jiva Goswami states, how to perceive the Lord is described in two verses. Atma means Paramatma. He means because. The Paramatma is perceived as many with the jivas as his amshas. So we are perceived as many because we as jivas, individual beings, we are expansions. Amsha means expansions of God. But there are two types of Atmas. Sometimes it is described Vibhu Atma, the universal Atma, the universal soul, the Paramatma, and the Anu Atma, or the minute soul. So we are the minute expansions. Srila Prabhupada uses two terms. Infinite, God is infinite, and we are infinitesimal. Infinitesimal, so it means one is unlimited, and we are sparks of God. Doesn't mean we are limited. We're also extremely powerful because we come from God. We are His expansions. But we are powerful only in as much as we remain connected to the original form of God, to Krishna, to Ete Chamsa Kalak Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Svayam. As long as we remain connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are powerful. And we see like devotees do things sometimes greater than Krishna. By the mercy of Krishna, of course. They don't think they do on their own strength. They do it by the mercy of Krishna. Like Srila Prabhupada spread Krishna consciousness all over the world, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did it in India. He predicted that it will take place in a very Tonan village. He knew how it will happen. His Senapati Bhakta will come and do it, and then many more preachers will preach and spread Krishna consciousness. Still there is so much to be done. We talk about every town and village, and we could say we are there through the internet, but we still need to go in person, isn't it? Internet in one way, yeah, it's Maya in the service of Krishna, but we should have devotees in person acting in every town and village of Belgium. We are in Belgium here, also the Netherlands, it's neighbor countries, and Luxembourg is very close, so we are preaching from here to all these places. So there is so much to be done. We shouldn't be content that we have a wonderful and beautiful community here in Radhadesh, but we should reach out somehow or other to go to every town and village of the country and to spread the message of Lord Chaitanya. So anyways, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the power to Srila Prabhupada to do what he didn't do. Or Lord Ramachandra gave the power to Sri Hanuman to go to Lanka from one jump, but he built a bridge. So apparently, we see the devotee did something bigger than God, isn't it? It's like that or not? So sometimes devotees do incredible things by the mercy of Krishna. So the minute soul is very powerful, and therefore the term Shakti Avesha is used many times, or Avesha Rupa. Devotees become the empowered form of God. Srila Prabhupada will quote the verse, Krishna Shakti Vina Nahe Tara Pravartam. That we should, unless somebody is empowered with Krishna Shakti, with Krishna's potencies, won't be able to spread the message of Krishna. So whatever we do as Anuatma, as minute souls, takes place by the mercy of Krishna, but because we are part of Krishna, we are incredibly powerful in this way, as long as we are connected. When we disconnect ourselves from Krishna, as the sparks suffocate, become extinguished, become extinguished when they go out of the fire, So when we separate from fire, our fiery, powerful, transcendental spiritual nature becomes extinguished. And then we become covered practically in ignorance. And then we are called conditioned souls, or we are called in the Varaha Purana, Vipinamsha. We are separated souls. Bhinna means separated. Bhinna prakriti rashtada. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, earth, in text 25, these elements are mentioned. Earth, water, fire, ether, which one I'm missing? Air. So all these elements and mind, intelligence, and false ego are my separated energies. So when we, minute souls, transcendental Satchitananda by nature, become separated from Krishna, we enter into this matter, this energy of Krishna, which ultimately is Brahman. It is Krishna. Krishna expands in these elements. Sarvam Kalu Idam Brahma. Everything that exists is Brahman, the Upanishads state. And in chapter 14 of the Gita, Krishna describes material nature as the Mahat Brahma, the great Brahman, the total material energy. So the total material energy is Brahman. So, and therefore Krishna says, I'm the tasting water, I'm the sunlight, the moonlight, ability in human being, and so on. But then these energies are called separated because are covered by avidya, by ignorance. So ignorance makes the luminous Brahman to look like dark, like matter, as a source of problems, a source of suffering. This evening we are going to talk about stress. Anyone feels stress sometimes? Sometimes, isn't it? Stress. So we will look into stress. From stress to devotion, we will look into Bhagavad Gita. So this stress is coming from material nature. That's the nature of matter that makes us feel stressful, isn't it? And this comes a lot from identification with matter. When we identify with matter, then we become stressful. But that's the nature of this world. The three modes are there, and avidya is there pushing the modes, and therefore we feel it, even if we don't want to. We want to become relieved from it, but it's unavoidable that we experience these feelings. And we don't need to deny them, they are there. The point is to deal with them in a Krishna-conscious way, or in a Krishna-conscious attitude or response. So here Jiva Goswami is explaining that we Jivas, we are Krishna's amshas. We are expansions of Krishna. We are not Krishna in the sense that we are Krishna's servants. That's our constitutional position. But Krishna is each and every one of us. He is everyone and everything. Ultimately, he is Bhokta, the supreme enjoyer. Srila Jiva Goswami continues, he is perceived as devatas or humans in bodies created by the gunas arising from the Lord's Atma, Maya Shakti, Shrishtai. Shrishtai means also created. So the Lord's energy, Shri Shri Radha Gopinatha Ki Jai. The Lord's creates everything through his Shaktis, Maya Shakti. There's the potency of mercy, also the potency of illusion, creating bewilderment everywhere. Sanatana Goswami states, is it proper to see all the jivas equally as the Lord? The jivas are non-different from him, being his amshas. But why are they seen to be many? Two verses explain these two verses that we read. Though there is one Atma, he appears as many. Srila Prabhupada quotes the Upanishadic verse, Eko Bahusyam. Though I am one, I'll become many. He is not associated with the body, Anya, being one, self-manifesting, eternal, different from the body, and beyond the gunas, are reasons. In sequence, from strongest to weakest, for not being perceived as many. So from strongest to weakest, Krishna is infinite and we are infinitesimal. If we separate from Krishna, we become covered by matter, by material energy, by Maya. The Lord is perceived as many bodies created by the gunas, created by the Lord. The gunas are not independent, they are Maya. Someone can give me Bhagavad Gita, or is it here? Sometimes it's here. We go to chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita, where the super soul is, the Lord is describing the super soul. The text 13 of chapter 13 of the Gita, Krishna states, Yeyam yat tat pravakshyami yak yatva mrittam ashnute anadi mat param brahma nasattan nasat uchyate. I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. Brahman, the spirit, beginningless and subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. And who describes the Paramatma. So, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan are one. Vadanti tat tatva vidas, tatvam yakyanam advayam, brahmeti paramatmeti, bhagavaniti shaptyate. So, learned transcendentalists do not see difference between Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Of course, Krishna originally, as Bhagavan, has unique loving exchanges with his devotees, as here he's exchanging with his father and mother Vasudeva and Devaki, and he will do something for them, bringing the children that were lost, bringing them back, so that his mother, Devaki, can have the experience of feeding them and express the love, what she was missing, what she couldn't do. The Lord will reciprocate with her and give it to her. That's the Lord always reciprocates with all the living entities, especially his devotees. But there is no difference. Paramatma is also Krishna. Krishna is the Paramatma. And Krishna is also Brahman. We do not see, as devotees, we do not see Brahman or Paramatma separated from Krishna. The Paramatma is his expansion for specific purposes, for guiding the living entities, for being there for us. He has unlimited empathy, so much empathy that when we choose to be so much in ignorance in the body of an animal, eating garbage, stool and whatever, the Lord is so kind that he is with us, accompanying us. He is there for us. And he's just there ready for us. I'm ready. When you are ready, I'm ready, Krishna says. In material relationships, when a relation breaks, it becomes very difficult to make it up, to put it back, isn't it? If any of you have gone through like separation or divorce, very painful like that, it becomes very difficult to go back to a relationship like that, isn't it? It's like that. That's in material terms. But Krishna is so merciful that he's ready for his devotees always. He's ready for his Amsha devotees, for his souls. He's always ready. He's just waiting. Whenever you are ready, Krishna says, I'm ready. Just, I'm here. You want to do your thing, you do your thing. But when you are ready, I'm ready. Eternally. So then the next verses, 14 and up to 17 or 18, describe the Paramatma. Sarvata panipadam tat, sarvatokshi shiro mukham, sarvata shutimalloke, sarvam avrityatistati. In the film of Lord Chaitanya, when speaking to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Nilachala Mahaprabhu, have you seen this film? Who has seen that film? Very nice film, very, very beautiful. And then Lord Chaitanya, when he's blasting Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya for his Mayavadi commentaries on the identity of God, he's quoting this verse. Sarvata shutimalloke. Did you not hear? Did you not hear? What? You didn't hear that God is everywhere, and he has hands and legs everywhere. So the translation says, everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads and faces, and he has ears everywhere. In this way, the super soul exists, pervading everything. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada states, very much related to today's verses, as the sun exists, diffusing its unlimited rays, so does the super soul or supreme personality of Godhead. So you see, Srila Prabhupada is not making difference. The super soul or supreme personality of Godhead. sometimes we create unnecessary arguments. No, the Paramatma is different from Krishna. Yeah, it's partial expansion, but Krishna, he has his partial expansion of Paramatma, and ultimately he is Krishna. For devotee, he is Krishna. Yayatamam prapadyante tam stathaiva bhajamyaham mama varmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. As they surrender unto me, as they want to have a relationship with me, I correspond, I reciprocate with each and every person. So that's the meaning. So as the sun exists diffusing its unlimited rays, so does the super soul, or the supreme personality of Godhead. He exists in his all-pervading form, and in him exist all the individual living entities. Sometimes we think that all-pervading means no form. But Srila Prabhupada is saying all-pervading form. And therefore it is mentioned, he has thousands of hands, thousands of legs. Actually, all our hands, legs, heads are his. We're just borrowing them. We think we think they are ours, but actually we are borrowing them, isn't it? And therefore, when Krishna decides that to take it away, then they disappear. They break, something happens, we die, the body is taken away. Then of course Krishna is very kind, and he gives us another opportunity, another body, another condition for continuing our learning, so that until we go back home, back to him. Normally you stop at 1:45 or you stop at 9? At 9?
And 9 is definite.
Okay, so 1:45 will be for comments and questions. Okay. You see, that's why I thought to go to the other verses. We won't discuss these two, and we will say, this is too theological. We don't talk about that, it's too theological. But this is actually very important. We need to reflect on this, to discuss, and to integrate it. Otherwise, why Krishna is speaking this to his father, Vasudeva? He could say, no, I don't speak about theology, philosophy. I just talk about rasa, pure rasa, nothing else. But for going into rasa, we need to come to proper tattva, proper understanding of the truth. Otherwise, rasa is not possible. Srila Prabhupada continues. Brahma down to the small, he exists in his all-pervading form, and in him exist all the individual living entities, beginning from the first great teacher, Brahma, down to the small ants. There are unlimited heads, legs, hands, and eyes, and unlimited living entities. All are existing in and on the super soul. Therefore, the super soul is all-pervading. The individual soul, however, cannot say that he has his hands, legs, and eyes everywhere. That is not possible. If he thinks that under ignorance he is not conscious that his hands and legs are diffused all over, but when he attains to proper knowledge, he will come to that stage. His thinking is contradictory. This means that the individual soul, having become conditioned by material nature, is not supreme. The supreme is different from the individual soul. The Supreme Lord can extend his hand without limit. The individual soul cannot. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that if anyone offers him a flower or a fruit or a little water, he accepts it. If the Lord is a far distance away, how can he accept things? This is the omnipotence of the Lord. Even though he is situated in his abode, far, far away from earth, he can extend his hand to accept what anyone offers. That is his potency. In the Brahma Samhita 537, it is stated, Goloka eva nivasati akilatma bhuta. Although he is always engaged in pastimes in his transcendental planet, he is all-pervading. The individual soul cannot claim that he is all-pervading. Therefore, this verse describes the Supreme Soul, the personality of Godhead, not the individual soul. And therefore, in today's verse, Bhagavatam verse, Atma means the Supreme Soul, not the individual soul. Atma means Krishna. Krishna says in Gita, Aham Atma Udakesha, I am the soul. So Krishna ultimately, he is the soul. He is the soul, sometimes his name, Atmatma. He is the soul of the soul of the souls. I'll only read the translation of the next verses of the Gita in chapter 13 related to the topic. The Super Soul is the original source of all senses. Yet, he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the modes of nature, and at the same time, he is the master of all the modes of nature. The Supreme Truth exists outside and inside of all living beings, the moving and the non-moving. Because he is subtle, he is beyond the power of the material senses to see or to know. Although far, far away, he is also near to all. And this verse is very important, 17. Although the Super Soul appears to be divided among all beings, he is never divided. He is situated as one. Although he is the maintainer of every living entity, it is to be understood that he devours and develops all. So Srila Prabhupada gives the example of the sun. The sun is above all of us. He is one, but each of us have a relationship with the sun. Some immediately when the sun is there, they want to go under the sun. Isn't it? If you are Belgian, you want to go under the sun. But if you go to Spain, after short, you go inside, if you are Belgian, because it's too much sun for you. Isn't it? Jamaswami Prabhu is evidence of that. It's too hot. So then you need to go to a fresher place. So every person has a different relationship with the sun. Recently we had the celebration of the World Yoga Day in Madrid, organized by the Indian Embassy, and they didn't put any cover. So it was 2 hours under the sun. And as time was passing, what was happening is that people were leaving. And we were having the kirtan in the end. That was a predicament. It was the closing of the program, but it was too much sun. Finally, Krishna made an arrangement and more people came, because more people came, new people came, and it was a big kirtan. but only those who were very determined or who liked the sun stayed until the end, because there was no cover. So like that, every person has a different relationship with the sun. The sun is one. There are not many suns. We can talk about the sun, the Spanish sun, the American sun, the Indian sun, the Belgian sun, that you see less, but you still see, but you see less.
You just came at the wrong time. There was a lot of.
I'm not complaining. I'm actually very grateful to Gopinath that put some shade, because my room is in the south area in New Brajamandala, and I'm toasting there. So I'm grateful that I can cover myself like there's toasting, even though being born in Spain. So anyway, the point is that the sun is one, but each country or each person has a different relationship with the sun, isn't it? We take our stance. So the same happens with Krishna. We choose what relationship we want to develop with him. So this is the point, that the Lord is one, but he appears to be divided. But he is always one. Akila Rasamrita Murti, Srila Rupa Goswami states, he is the enjoyer and the source of all the different rasas, with different types of devotees. And he enjoys very much to have this multiple, this diversity. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada stated, organize the Krishna consciousness movement on the basis of the principle of unity in diversity. So unity, Krishna Bhakti is the principle that unites us, and then there is diversity in how each devotee serves Krishna according to his or her capabilities to serve Krishna and his natural relationship to him. These are some reflections on this topic. Thank you very much for listening patiently, even though the topic is somewhat theological, philosophical. If you'd like to ask questions or make comments, please do so.
One question is still according to the word minute. Is the minute subtle body bigger than the minute gross body? Or is it the same?
Yeah, I mean, when I use the term minute, I was referring to the amsha, anu amsha, to we as eternal souls. But yeah, the subtle body also is more subtle, so we could say in one way it's more minute, although yeah, the grosser it becomes, the lesser it becomes. Even if it appears stronger, it's just fake. It's like internet. Like, you know, with artificial intelligence, yesterday I was looking into, I'm keeping myself a little informed about the war. Which war? I mean, there are so many wars. But there was all this conflict in Iran, Israel, like seemed to be, it was going to escalate, and as it appears now, they say, no, it's not escalating, we don't know what it is. No. But anyway, I'm looking a little bit to get some information. And there was one of the news was saying that some of the images that had been created were made with artificial intelligence, were not real. So then it becomes, the grosser it becomes, the lesser it becomes, the more cheating it becomes. So our identity, when we have a material identity, a gross body, even though it appears very big, but it's actually grotesque. From the point of view of the soul, it is grotesque. And the proof that the material body is grotesque for us earthly beings is that it throws impure substances, isn't it? We have to be purifying all the time, cleaning ourselves. If we touch any of the doors of the body, we have to wash. Isn't it? Because the body itself, the grossest identity it becomes, the more false it is. It's not real. It's an identity, but it's a mask we have. It's not our real identity. So the subtle body is better than gross matter, but the soul is the real self. And compared to Krishna, the soul is minute, because we are infinitesimal. So in quality, the same, in quantity, different. So that's what we were meaning by the word minute. Does that make any sense?
Because unfortunately, the word, the devil is hiding in details. And I just try to figure the word minute. If we take the general definition of minute, it's okay. But if we want to go into details, it's less okay. But according to my comprehension, that's all.
Yeah, minute means, like Prabhupada uses the term infinitesimal. So we souls are infinitesimal. Infinite potency, but in a spark. Of course, a spark can produce a fire, so cannot be undermined. And therefore a spark connected to the fire can stimulate, can create. When a spark separates from the fire, extinguishes. So we should remain fire. We shouldn't remain false people, false identities. Identification with the material body is false identity. It's not our real identity. We create a false identity, but it's not real. That's the meaning, that's the point. Purna Tattva, Prabhu?
Thank you very much for your explanation. It said that the super soul in the body is just 1 ton. Yeah? But I was wondering that, like, if you have an ant, you know, how big is a super soul in an ant? Is also like a thumb, or is like the thumb of his little leg? The size.
Yeah, I mean, that measure of the 25 centimeters or whatever in the heart, that's a measure given for meditation. As we have, Srila Prabhupada compares the meditation of the yogis to the deity worship of the devotees. So we have a deity of a particular size, right? Deity can be this size, can be this size, can be a smaller size, depending on the devotee. So Krishna is all these sizes, and yet he has no size. He's unlimited. So the super soul has no size, but yet he's so kind that he becomes one Pradesha, is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, in the 2nd canto, 20-25 centimeters to facilitate the meditation of the yogis. But he also enters within every atom. So how he will enter the atom with 25 centimeters? He can do anything. He becomes smaller than the atom, and then he enters there. So, is that okay?
Adjusted to the body then. Huh? The size of the super soul actually is adjusted to the body.
Yes.
But in the human form, for the yogis, he has that size.
But he is one. He has no. He has all the sizes and he has no size. That's what the Gita is saying. But we want to put him in a box. So no, but tell me, you people, tell me what size he has. No, he has all sizes and he has no size. This is God. He can do anything.
you said that a pure devotee, he understands everything in this way, like everything is spiritual. And I was making this connection that Srila Prabhupada was, whatever he touched, and he did it with so much respect. And when somebody kicked something with a foot, he said, don't do like that, because he had this pure vision that everything is spiritual, everything is Brahman. And I was thinking that between the Brahman and Paramatma, there is almost kind of no difference, in the sense that for me the Paramatma, I always see it as Krishna in the heart of every living entity. But you were saying it's in everything. So then you touch on the Brahman, on the all the Brahman. You understand? I saw more the super soul as individual in the persons or in the living entities.
Yeah, when the difference is made between Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan, it's according to the realization of the transcendentalist. So Brahman is described as partial realization, more abstract, impersonal. Paramatma is localized, but localized everywhere. And therefore sometimes the definitions appears to be describing Brahman, but Srila Prabhupada here is translating the super soul. And in the purport he's saying, he uses both the super soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, indicating that ultimately Krishna is the super soul, Krishna is Brahman, and there is no difference. And when an impersonalist tries to deny Krishna's form as material, is committing an offense, because he's denying actually the most intimate expression of God, who relates in very, very personal, loving ways with his devotees. So, therefore, sometimes it appears to be bewildering. For us European people, it becomes more difficult because we're accustomed, the type of education we have received is kind of little German type of, isn't it? This is like this is here, this is here, this is here, this is here. There is no difference. But actually Krishna, he can do anything. Krishna is here and he's there. Ito narisimha parato narisimho. Yato yamitato narisimha. The Lord, Narisimha, he's here, he's there. Mahir narisimho, hridaye narisimho. He's outside, but he's in the heart as well. So he's Krishna. As a super soul, he's doing that. He's in everyone. It's personal, more personal than Brahman aspect. It's a more abstract realization. Paramatma is in the middle. It's bringing us to a personal connection with the lost child or the lost soul. To wake that soul up to his or her original consciousness. Yes.
You mentioned a verse in the Bhagavatam in which I think it's Vishnu that says, at the beginning I was one and then I became many. Right? You mentioned that before. So I'm just wondering, does God become many Nitya Siddhas and Nitya Baddhas, or how does it work exactly in that sense?
Yeah, Nitya Baddhas are also his expansion. Nitya Baddhas basically means as long as we are in this material world, we are Nitya Baddhas. Unless someone comes from the spiritual world as an Shakti Vishavatara to bring Krishna to the others. But normally, material body means Nitya Baddha. We are conditioned since time immemorial. And we may look, sometimes we try to understand what I did in my past life that this thing happened to me. But we did so many lifetimes, and karma is such a complex equation that we are thinking in those terms, but very, very limited, very minute, very conditioned. We cannot see. We are like the horse. I don't know if they do that still. In the past, they used to put this thing to the horses. I don't know what you call it in
Blinders.
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 Blinders to the horse. So we are like that, like horses with blinders. And we see this life at the most past life. What did I do in my previous life that this thing is happening to me? What did I do thousands and millions of lifetimes back? It's a whole equation which is there. And things are happening to us. But the point is to wake up. We need to wake up to our original consciousness. And then, as Srila Prabhupada states in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Nitya Baddha becomes Nitya Siddha, eternally liberated. So yes, then we can enter into the debate. But what about Nitya Siddhas who never fell from the spiritual world? Yeah, we shouldn't try to understand Krishna and the functioning of his energies through jnana devoid of bhakti. And therefore Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in conversing with Ramananda Roy, when he was asking Ramananda Roy about the goal of life, and he was rejecting, no, this proposition is external. Varnashrama Dharma is external. Karma Yoga is external. Even surrender can be external if it's not real. Sarvadharmam Parityajya. And then, when Ramananda Roy quoted the statement of Lord Brahma, Gyane prayasa udapasya namanta eva jivanti sammukharitam pavadiya varta stanestita shrutigatam tanuvam manovir jeprayasho jitajito apisaistilokyam. Just listen to the devotional discourses about Krishna from the lotus mouths of the pure devotees. Listen. Remain in your own position. Do not change. You follow your whatever, Varna, Ashrama, wherever you are, you follow there. You don't need to change anything external. Be yourself in this world. And just listen and jnane prayasam. But do it without the endeavor, over-endeavor, prayasa, over-endeavor, jnane, to understand with the mind and the intellect. Only in this way, the unconquerable Lord, Ajita, becomes conquered. So the process is bhakti. The process is bhakti. Only Krishna will become revealed by devotional service. Of course, hearing and engaging the intelligence in studying Shastra and philosophical, theological discussions about Krishna. This is very good, very strengthening, but should be done as bhakti, devotional service. And then Krishna becomes revealed, and then we can say, Eureka, no, they don't say Eureka, Krishna, I got it. And maybe you got it, I didn't get it. So it goes like that. A person gets it, the same words, but one is realizing, the other is not realizing. Because it depends on Krishna's mercy. It depends on bhakti. And therefore Krishna in Bhagavad Gita states Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavanjas chasmi tatvataha tatomam tatvato gyatva vishate tadanantaram. I can be understood only through bhakti, only by devotional service, it is possible to see Krishna and then to enter into Krishna's transcendental abode and to become one with Krishna, not as the Mayavadis state, extinguishing our identity, but becoming one with Krishna in love, in interest, in service, serving Him as He desires. I don't know if that answered the question.
My question was more like, does Vishnu or God or Krishna expand himself into two different types of souls, or we all, the expansions are all at the same level, and then at certain points they take different routes?
Well, according to some acharyas, Srila Prabhupada himself states that there are more souls in the spiritual world that never come to the material world than those who have come. From that viewpoint, you could, if you want a yes or no, you could say yes, there are different types of souls. And some quotes Madhvacharya, but we could argue, this is just, in one way, it can be just a lot of argument, which is not so important, in that Srila Prabhupada says, when someone becomes liberated, becomes Nityasiddha. So you wake up, you're Nityasiddha. So it's not that they will tell you, you rascal, you were the one who were in the material world doing nonsense, and I have a list of all the nonsense you did. Pure devotees do not think like that. They do not judge others for. And they become Nityasiddhas. The same term is used. So it's not a big deal. We may classify many categories, and probably many more than we can count, but the acharyas may have not discussed because it's not a big deal. There are many different types of devotees, different types of relationships with Krishna, many different types of Maya, isn't it? So singularity is one of the principles found in the Vedas. Vishesha, Vaisheshika. We have our powerful Vaisheshika Prabhu. He distinguishes by his empowerment to push book distribution. Singularity, there is uniqueness in personality. So Vishesha is there. So there may be different types of souls, but in one way, who cares? Wake up and go back home, back to Godhead. I think we can end here for today. Tomorrow we can continue. If something is not clear, tomorrow we can discuss.
And tonight at 6 there is a class as well. Tonight at 6 as well?
Today there is a class from 6 to 7, I was told. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.